Hi everyone, my name is Alex Steiner. I'm the head of external affairs and campaigns at the National Housing Federation. Great to have Lucy Dixon, who is the head of external affairs at Carbon Homes, with us today. And we're here to talk about the Comms and Influencing in Housing conference in London on the 22nd of January 2026 at County Hall. And I've just got a few questions to ask Lucy so she can introduce what we're going to be talking about and what we'll be discussing on the day. So for this year's conference, we have expanded the content, and one of the key themes of the conference will be resident engagement. Lucy, could you tell us why it's so important that we've included that topic this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the recent tragedies like Grenfell and the awful and sad death of our Bishak, it's really shown us the devastating impact of not listening to our residents and not properly engaging with residents. So, this year we really want to explore that theme. Trust is low in public bodies and in major institutions, and I think social housing is no exception to that. So it's really important that we listen to our residents, listen to the people who live in our homes, really understand them, give them opportunities to engage. And I think this is why there's a big focus on that in this year's conference.
In your opinion, Lucy, what are the key takeaways that delegates can expect to have from attending the conference?
Well, last year I was an attendee at the conference, and I have to say it was one of those conferences where every session had something I could take away, and either just a little nugget that I could use back in my own work, or that provoked me to think about other things. So there's loads of takeaways you can get from the conference. But I suppose I would say really understanding some of the challenges that we're all facing, sharing best practice and learning from best practice from others, and most importantly, networking with your peers. There's, some of the best conversations I had were in the breaks and in the lunch last year, and really made me think about approaching things in a different way when I got back to the office.
How will the conference address kind of current ongoing trends and the challenges that are facing the sector right now?
So I think, we all know that in the sector we're facing multiple challenges: economic, political, social, and the roles that we do and all of our, in communications and in public and external affairs. We're right at the heart of those challenges. We're battling them with them every day. And I think, the conference will really focus on some of those key ones. So the fast-moving political change, and the local elections that are coming up will have a focus on that changing political environment, also on rebuilding trust. And devolution, which again is coming thick and fast to many of us. So they're just some of the challenges that I think we'll focus on this year.
And we've obviously got a really, really strong, compelling lineup for this year's conference. Which are the speakers that you're most looking forward to hearing from on the day?
Well, it's hard to pick one or two out, I have to say. I think it's a really strong lineup, and I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone. But if I had to, I think the session that I think Natalie from Joseph Browntree Foundation and Lisa from Orbit are doing on storytelling is going to be really interesting. How we can use those stories that connect with people to show the impact that we have. There's a session I think Veronica from Abri is doing about using resident voice in influencing political stakeholders. I think that's so important. It's hard to do, and it sometimes has risk attached, but I think it's really valuable. And then the session right at the end of the day, which was we've got Mary from Shelter and Simon Hennig from Stevenson Mole talking about how we reframe social housing, particularly with emerging new political movements. That's going to be a really interesting one, and I think one we're all going to be grappling with in the run-up to local elections. So really excited to hear what we can find out there. I'm really looking forward to chairing the conference and seeing many familiar and new faces on the day.
Brilliant. Thanks. Me too, Lucy. It's going to be a really, really good day. So remember, Comms and Influencing in Housing 2026 at County Hall in London on the 22nd of January. Really looking forward to seeing you and everybody else. So thanks very much.